Okay, so we're gonna begin with our onions. Just gonna cut it in half. Take off the first layer, because the first layer is what always collects all the bacteria. So you can make it like this according to the amount of ingredients I'm using. With the amount I'm making, you can basically serve about 4 dishes, maybe 5 or 6, depending how many you have. Okay, so we have our 2 onions. They've been cut in half and peeled. So now we're just gonna go ahead and chop them up. Okay, so that's our onions all chopped up basically. I'm gonna just go ahead and put them in our little stainless steel bowl. So here you have it, 2 onions chopped. So we're gonna put this to one side right now. Going to prep our chicken. So we have 2 chicken breasts over here. And with the chicken breast, we're just simply going to take it, we're going to cut it in half, and then we're just going to cube it. So these are the no-name brand frozen chicken breasts, the 1.5 kg from Pick n Pay. So you can use fresh, you can use frozen, doesn't matter. Okay, there is our chicken cut up. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in a bowl. Okay, so we have our chicken breasts and we have our onions. Let me get the potatoes. Okay, and basically here's the potatoes. Potatoes are quite easy how I prep them. Basically buy the 7 kg bag, peel all of them, cut them out, parboil them, let them dry out, and then freeze them. So this is straight from the freezer. As you can see, they're nice and soft already. You just leave them out to thaw a bit, and then you're gonna throw them in towards the middle of the curry. Anyway, we have our little large pot over here. We're gonna turn the heat up to medium, which is number 4 out of 6. If you have one of those stoves, using a gas stove, just turn the flame to medium. And we're gonna just start off with some oil. So I usually just pour enough to coat the bottom. If you want the exact measurements, you can use about 4 to 6 tablespoons, but I always just coat the bottom. And we're just gonna let that heat up a little bit. Okay, now while our oil is in the pot heating up, we are going to marinate the chicken. Okay, so we are going to begin with some ginger and garlic paste. I'm just going to put a whole spoon in here, tablespoon, and this is for 2 chicken breasts. I'm going to take a handful of salt and just throw it in, another, because you do not want this to be bland. And we're going to salt as we go as well. Then we're gonna take my curry mix that I've made. This basically has all the spices put together in it, and we're gonna go ahead and put 2.5 tablespoons of that. So this curry mix is basically a whole bunch of other spices. It has garam masala, it has turmeric, it has ginger and garlic masala, it has mutton masala, it has ginger and garlic mutton masala. you basically, my spice mix has over, I would say, about 20 different spices mixed in it, and I do a 1-to-1 ratio, so I make a big mix of 1 kg with everything, and it lasts about years. I'm still on my same mix that I made 2 years ago, because spices don't go off or any of that. So now that the chicken is nicely marinated and coated, we're gonna just leave that out at room temperature until it is time that it is needed. So let's get back to the pot where our oil should be hot enough. Okay, so we are back at the pot right now, and we are going to start I am going to throw in a few curry leaves. So we'll start with curry leaves. And I also have my other mix. This is basically coriander seeds, jeera seeds, and mustard seeds. So we're going to take almost a pinch and we're going to drop that in. And what we are doing now is we are basically going to just give this oil some flavor to it. You can see the curry leaves are starting to fry up real nice. And while that happens, all of the other seeds are also going to start roasting in this oil. And you're going to get the fragrance of the curry leaves, the jeera seeds, the mustard seeds, and the coriander seeds. So you can hear they're starting to pop. When they start to pop and you can see the oil has also changed color, that's when you know it is time. You can start throwing in your onions and start cooking that off. The onions, we're just going to cook them until they are translucent. The tomatoes, you can use fresh tomatoes, you can use canned tomatoes. I'm basically using this tomato and onion mix. It's one whole can, 410 grams, because at the moment they are much cheaper than buying fresh tomatoes for some reason. So I just buy these, and they're also cheaper in bulk. Tomatoes you can always buy and freeze and then grate them after it all, but either way, whether you're using the can or the fresh tomatoes, you're going to get the same outcome. So we are going to go ahead and add our chicken right now. Okay, just gonna move it around. I'm gonna leave that for like a minute. I'm gonna give this a nice mix. Now we're basically just gonna cook this until the spices are cooked out and the chicken has a nice sear. That's where the onions will go away and you're gonna have a nice thick gravy. So right now that is the point of where we need to add our tomatoes, because you do not want to overcook the chicken at this stage, because then your chicken won't be tender at the end, it will just be chewy and hard. So let's add our tomatoes. wondering how much water I'm going to put in, the size of that tomato can, I'm just going to fill that up with water, and that's going to be thrown in here. Now we're going to just mix this. And now you basically just want to cook this until the tomatoes are fully cooked, and you'll see what I mean. You can see bits of the tomato now, but give it about 10 minutes and it will have a nice pure gravy, and then that's when we will add our water. But before that, we also add our potatoes. So while it is like this right now, I'm going to just drop in the potatoes so they can start simmering with all that spices. It's up to you how many potatoes you want to use. It's only 2 of us, so I use 2 potatoes. So basically a potato each, because we love the potatoes in the curry. And as you can see, some are big, some are small. The reason for that being the bigger ones will stay intact. The smaller potatoes will melt into the gravy and also thicken it a bit more. You can see some of the onions are already starting to disappear with the... Okay, so I've thrown in the 1 teaspoon of sugar, and I've also thrown in the water that was measured with the can of tomatoes. So you can see how nice and liquid it is now. So we are going to just leave this on a low heat to simmer for about 20 minutes, and we should have our chicken curry done and dusted. And then on this side, I do have the turmeric rice just getting ready to boil. Okay, and there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the chicken curry done. You can see how nice and thick the gravy is, basically. Potatoes are extra soft, chicken is tender. And yeah, that is basically the chicken curry recipe. And as always, like, subscribe, and comment what else you would want me to make on the channel. But I would be making a lot more, so stay tuned.